Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Hey, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Bitcoin holding the key levels. XRP pumping to the upside. Solana doing damage. It was an altcoin weekend. We made money all weekend long. It was an absolute blast, from DAG to Hook Protocol to Immutable X. I mean, you name it, it was pumping. We had WIF. We had it all. It was awesome. Unbelievable weekend for altcoins and Bitcoin in general. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. When Bitcoin goes sideways, it is good for the altcoins. I got my Bitcoin tie on. I'm feeling ready to go with my white shirt. XRP booming to the upside here. Just opened up an XRP trade that's up $1,000 in under a half an hour. That's insane. Let's go. No liquidation on my Solana trade. Shout out to Masterfriend. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Bitcoin's struggling, but who cares? Altcoins are ripping. This is the day to be alive. NASDAQ trade absolutely blasting to the upside. I was in it since Thursday. We're taking that $2,000 account to $4,400 and more. Should we take the profits or let it cook to two? I got my stop loss in profit. The worst that can happen is I make $50. Let me show my screen. That might be nice. You know what I mean? But I start with the voraciousness and the feeling and that push. But look at this, man. This is my NASDAQ trade ripping to the upside. Look, we're going for $23,500. And this is how you grow accounts, slowly but surely. You don't get too crazy here. This was the trade on Bitcoin, open from last night. It was up $100. I opened it up here, right there. It ripped. I was in the money last night. Came back down. Never stopped me out, though. Got close. I'm still kind of hugging the trade to see what happens. And then the week's trades. Right here, we got $1,000 on the XRP trade continuing to rip. Looks like XRP has taken the day by storm. So money seems to be flowing out of Bitcoin into XRP. And we're going to look at the XRPBTC chart. I see Bitcoin in this tight flag about to break out. I'll give you guys your top-down analysis right away. All right? I was in altcoins all morning long inside the trading group, so it was altcoin, altcoin, altcoin. No reason to be paying attention to Bitcoin. That's a waste of your time. Focus where the money is. You see what I'm saying? Focus on the setups that make sense. Focus on where the money is flowing 100%. Not saying I don't pay attention to Bitcoin, but I know when I should be paying more attention to altcoins than Bitcoin and vice versa. And it is altcoin moves right now. Look at the rippage to the upside we're getting here on this trade here for XRPZ to the upside. Absolute doing damage. This thing could do damage. $4,000 for $6,000, right? It's a serious, for $16,000, serious trade. And we're going for that big payday here on XRP. So only time will tell. We'll see what happens. It's the winning trade of the day, and I think it is the trade of the day. But you do whatever makes you happy. I can't force you, and I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I say it should make you do anything. You should find out your own research, do your own due diligence before getting into any coin, project, or trade. All right? Blessings. Funding rate countdown, 1 hour and 45. Nice. We got GLQ. We got Bitcoin. Let's break down BTC. The bot still inside these three trades, waiting to sell a massive payday. Look how patient the bot is. Just waits till it gets what it desires. Let's take a look at our top-down analysis here for Bitcoin. Break it down. We're going to have some fun with these altcoins. I know these super chats are going to pour in. You people are awesome. I love it. Let me actually send the stream to the group. I don't even think I did. I got so many tasks to do, but I was in the altcoins. I don't care. It's altcoin season all day long, baby. I'm focused on where the money flows. Where the attention goes, the money flows. It's altcoins, baby. I found a coin that did over an 80x. It's insanity. From when I looked at it, I still can't believe that. And then I found a few other coins that did a 1x, a 5x, and that coin's even up 5x or 8x from when I put it out. Are you tired of winning yet? You're going to win so much, you're going to beg not to win anymore. You're going to win to the point of no return. You're going to win so much, you're going to beg to stop winning. Jerome Powell's speech today, who cares? He can kick rocks. No, I'm just joking. I'm messing around. We'll see what happens here in Forex Factory and see what's coming up for the week ahead. So let's take a look. Monday, M2 money supply, blah, blah, blah. I do not see Jerome Powell speaking today. No, you're way off. Yeah, I don't know where you got that. Maybe, but it seems like you're way off. So, okay, no offense. Yeah, but you're throwing the show off. You're with your nonsense. I'm just messing around. Tuesday, we have core CPI data coming in. So sorry. Let me fix the next week. Let me slow down here. Here we go. Tuesday the 22nd, Federal Chair Powell speaks Tuesday. And sometimes he just talks whatever, Just because he talks, it doesn't mean everything. You know, some talks are bigger. Sometimes he's just like going over like education of economy, you know, the economy at like Penn State and stuff. I'd have to look into what that talk is. You know, Thursday. So look, it's a pretty cool week. Tuesday we got nothing. Wednesday we got nothing. That's the first time in a long time too, right? Thursday doesn't look like we have anything. Unemployment claims coming in at 8:30. That's the one thing that'll jolt us there. So we have a pretty light week as far as red folders. We have unemployment claims at 8:30 on Thursday. That's it. It's kind of nice. All right. So get ready for this beautiful week of July. The third week, it tends to be the hottest weeks too in a monthly candle. So get ready for this awesome time here to be alive. Funny, people won't show up to the group. Sometimes to the trading if I don't put out the stream, but it's like the funniest thing is that the stream is here every single day. It never misses, right? But that's that ADHD in the charts. You know, you forget what time it is. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. God bless you all for here. So I gave you the trade of the day. You do whatever you want with that information. I showed you how far I'm up, and I showed you what's going on. You do whatever makes you happy. I can't force it on you for a beautiful day here in trading. So, and that's how you make $1,000 in under an hour. It is what it is. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. And my baby, DJI 6930, absolutely crushing it. Hottest coin of the game. Really, one of the hottest coins in the game right now. Holding a $61 million market cap, getting tight inside this flag. I see it. It's hit every single flag it's made. From this one that I put out, from this one to that one to that one, I have not missed a trade on this puppy. And I found it when it was $660,000 market cap. It's over 70x. This thing is ripping. I see it going up another gain, and it's going to be up 180%. And when I first gave it to the group, first time I ever gave it to the group, I gave them this flag right here. This is the first setup I gave to the group. Again, it loves these ascending triangles. Look, no indicator needed. I used not one indicator to make these gains. I knew the coin was hot, and I did the technical analysis. I use TA to get in every single position. I never just buy something blindly. I do use technical analysis. You see? Even if it's a meme, even if it's small, and people don't realize that TA does play out. Look, that's a bit of a cup with a handle to the upside. That's a bit of a double bottom there. Look at it. The candle's closed, and I don't use the wicks when looking for my patterns. Anyway, you do you. This thing looks awesome. Whoever sells this thing early is probably going to, like, this guy's going to kick himself for selling for $7,000 or $400. Like, but whatever. He might be from a third world country. He might have put $100 in. That might change his whole life. And nobody knows where we're all at. Everybody's in their own place financially, spiritually, energetically. And so there you go. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Bitcoin. So what do I see for Bitcoin? I honestly see a bit of a bull pennant here. 2 hour time for, or, you know, symmetrical triangle, but more bullish than bearish. It's 50-50, but we got the lock on our side here. There was some shoulder this weekend. We dipped. We bought it back up. We got tight back inside the pattern. When you get back inside, that's confirmation. You do what you want with this information. My brain knows exactly how to flip it back to the money. But you do whatever makes you happy with that information. So this looks like a big move is coming for Bitcoin. And again, could it roll over? Could it slump and dump down to the 200 MA here on the 2 hour? It could. You got to have guts, no glory. There's a reason why people say that. Because, to the winner goes the spoils. Future fortune favors the brave. If you're not fave, it ain't happening. All right? XRP tested the highs. I mean, this is crazy. ETH about to hit ripping to the upside. Let's take a look at what's happening here at these altcoins. And we're going to get to the top-down analysis for Bitcoin at the right time. Ethereum. I gave it to the group last night. Said this thing was about to explode. Let's talk about it. Actually, I gave this trade on the 5-minute, right? This thing is ripping. I gave this trade 3,060. Look, it's about to hit the target right now. I think it did. It did just hit the target. Congratulations to anybody that took the Ethereum trade that I gave. Booming to the upside here. Saturday, July 19th, I gave the trade out of the 5-minute time frame. Suggested that it could continue to go to the upside. I gave this and the Litecoin trade Saturday night. Working my butt off. Not taking time off. You see what I'm saying? No matter what, my kids, ice cream, going out, the summer, it doesn't matter. I don't stop. I don't miss. I hit for you every single time, baby. I gave a perfect entry with the tight moving averages on the high volume node. Banging to the upside. Looks like this thing may continue to rip. So, and why is Jupiter pumping? Because memes are hot. Solana's back. People are back, man. It took a while for retail to wake up. We were here the whole time. We never left, but they did. You have to remember, the average person does not have the staying power that the lifers have. They could not hang like we could. They're running back in now. The trading group will blow up. You're going to see tons of people in it. People are going to be here throwing super chats. They're all back. Why did they leave? The money was back then. We got the lower prices when everyone else left. They thought it was going lower. They bailed on this market. They said, my altcoins didn't pump when they were supposed to, so I'm done. It's kind of like a little kid that didn't get his ice cream when he thought he was going to get it. So he left the table and threw his plate. I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen when you want. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Traders know this. We just go with the flow until we get the flow, baby. It is what it is. So this is just an absolute melee here. XRP absolutely blasting to the upside. A beautiful $1,400 gain here out of this tiny little candle. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Pure rippage for XRP. A beautiful day to be alive here. All trades up. Everything green. And you know, it could slip in a second. It is False Move Monday. I'm always wary of what's happening here. And anything could happen at any moment in time. The NASDAQ trade also doing damage, and it continues to rip. Looks like it's going to hit my target at 2350, all-time highs for that NASDAQ, right? I mean, boom. I told you they're going to continue to print this money. There was no way. Remember back 3, 4, 5 months ago, everyone says we were dumping on the NASDAQ. I said there's a reversal coming. I said they print this money. Where's it going? It has to go into the market. They're going to basically bubble these markets to a new high, to places they've never been before. This is a cup and handle. I see this ripping to the target. 121.7 is my target. I am long, up 33%. I gave this trade. I was in this trade last night. I got into this flag right here. It pumped, it dumped, it never stopped me out. It's the same trade. I have staying power. You got to have patience. Patience pays the trader. The NASDAQ trade opened 4 days straight. It didn't always do what we wanted. It went up and down, almost stopped me out. I stayed in the trade. I didn't touch the trade. I let it do its thing. You see what I'm saying? I can't tell you how much when you remove emotions and just trade like a bot and do what you got to do. Set your parameters, go over the math, decide what your risk is, and let it fly. That's it. There's no in between. There's no second guessing. You go for the gusto. You make it happen. All right? Look at this one. Last time we got away for the 21. Look how far this 1 hour got. This trade is absolutely ripping. I just gave it to the trading group. 51% gains. I used $3,000 to make $1,500. I mean, you don't have to be the richest person in the world here. This is awesome. Booming to the upside here. XRP. You can move the stop loss to break even. You can't lose money now. You know, people that like to risk their whole life, I don't understand. You know, there's no reason to risk more money. Take that money. Look, that's a beautiful trade right there. I mean, $1,500 in under half an hour. You know how many people can't do that in all sorts of businesses? To me, that's beautiful. I'd move to the smaller time frame, start looking at what's happening here. And so we either need a rising wedge or this is going to come back down hard. You see? I'm going to get paid. So if this is bullish, it's not going to lose the trend line. It's going to rip. If it's bearish, it's going to lose the trend line. Play some games. You see what I'm saying? Even on the 1 minute, if this is bullish, we are out. We are ripping out of this to the upside. So you can almost really kind of put your stop loss probably right below this wick here. And that way I guarantee myself some gains. No matter what, this could be a Monday morning pump. You never know. Everyone gets gassed. They believe it's the one. And they take no profits. They watch their money go all the way back down. 90% of traders watch their trades go up and right back down. They don't take any money out of the trades. They don't pay the trader. I don't understand. I'm here to get paid. I got suits to buy. You know, I got to make $1,500 a day over here. Hey. Seriously, though, once you start making more money, you get accustomed to it. You start working really hard to get that same goal, that same work ethic, right? I work every single day, 7 days a week. It's madness. Most people think like the amount I work would make them sick. They'd be like, I don't want to do that. But then they won't have the biggest yacht coming into Monaco, right? They won't be able to throw a party at one of the biggest mansions in the world, looking over, the biggest, most beautiful vistas. Like, I just want to give people the greatest experiences ever. I'm taking this trade right here. I'm going to be happy with $1,400 and move on. Look at, I just sold that trade, baby. And that's how you make $1,400 in under an hour. I did it. I gave it to the trading group. I went super hard on the trade. And it's probably going to make me even more if I stayed inside the trade. I see a big breakout here for XRP. But I don't have to be in there every 5 seconds. I could scalp it again for another bit of money here. Or I could now even risk the 1,500 for 45 if I want. Put the stop loss down here and make the same trade, just buy the breakout. I am buying the breakout. But this thing is likely going to continue to pump. It's XRP. And everybody wants a piece. And it's going to take over the Swift system. We have some news for you about XRP right now that's kind of like, you know, XRP is set to capture 21 million from the Swift. Ripple's bold prediction. XRP ledger activity surges with record transactions, smart contracts, and DEX volume. Now they have the administration to pull the Swift swing. You know, Swift had their hands inside of our internal. You have to understand, to be able to move money around and be the biggest money mover and to be able to, you know, cleared with Homeland Security and all that, you have to have some type of stake in the government, some type of connection there. So Swift has been holding some type of monopoly behind the scenes in its government connections over financial transactions. Think about it. No one else was allowed to do anything else but Swift. You don't do Swift, you ain't in. You know, it's like kind of crazy. It's a monopoly. And they say there's no such thing as monopolies, but what is that? It's a gosh dang monopoly, is it not? Let's be completely clear here. So now it's over now, but the sad thing is there will always be somewhat of a monopoly. Now Ripple will have the monopoly. Like, who will ever be able to have the connection to the government, you know, to verify AML, KYC payments? It just, you can't really have 10 people doing it. You see what I'm saying? I never thought about this. I'm having epiphanies with you guys at the present moment in time. These are facts here. This is what's going on in the world, right? So here's another trade here for XRP. Looks like he could rip all the way to 370. All-time highs for XRP. All-time highs for the NASDAQ. All-time highs. Money getting printed like you wouldn't believe. People paying themselves daily. Money getting made, all right? You know how many people? I used to work a whole week to make what I just made. I used to work a whole week, multiple trips to the train, taking my, you know, a night shift too. I used to work a whole week to make what I just made. I want to make that really clear. I made it this morning in under an hour. What I used to make in a whole week in my house with pants on, no shoes. You know what I'm saying? Straight-faced. But so there's, you know, if that's not a miracle, if that doesn't get you up in the morning, the fact that we have 1,467 people here, where is everybody? Bitcoin ripping, altcoins, XRP in an all-time high, and people want to take the day off. We have less viewership than we've ever had. Like, I don't understand what's going on. But, man, retail will come back at the right time, or at the wrong time, sadly, and they'll start buying the top. And we'll have been paid already. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll be chasing the candles that we'll be selling. And I'm sorry to say, but, like, it's the people that don't want to position themselves at the right time. When it's boring, when it's not cool, when it's tough. You know how many days I showed up to this stream when the altcoins were just completely obliterated and people were just like, there was a couple times where I was almost like, dang, I don't know how many days I could do this. They took me to the wire. They did. But I never gave up. Because my dad never gave up. And my mom never gave up. And I don't come from people that give up. I come from Irish fighters that keep it moving, that fought for everything they had, that know that nobody gives you a handout. Nothing is free and there's no whining. That's what I was told by my father. Nothing is free, no whining. Nobody ever, you know what I mean? Straight up. Grind it out, get it done. The quickest way out is in. You see what I'm saying? Trying to avoid the situation makes it longer. Just get it in. Figure it out and start doing it. You know, whenever I have to dig a huge hole or something, like, you know, it's something, I can't get the guy there at the right time. I need to get it done. Things don't look good, right? So now you can do another, like, I can risk 1,400, 300 of the 14 to see if I can rip another 830. No reason to be greedy. It's likely this is going to rip. But it is Monday. It's very risky. You see? But that looks like it's going to go parabolic out the rising wedge. Rising wedges break up parabolically. I'm back inside the XRP trade. I could be risking some of my gains. I understand that. False move Monday, like nothing ventured, nothing gained. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be kind of poised to put my stop loss up a little higher. 150 there. 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. See, my target's a little lower, 370. Rising wedges break down most of the time. I'm likely going to lose the money. See that? Look how fast they dumped that puppy. Yep. It's a battle right now on XRP. Yeah, there he goes. Damn, I chased. See? And I can either cut it off now, walk away from the trade for the day, and say I gave 175 back on my basically my 1450. Can I stay inside? Whew. It's funny, I still even get, like, I guess money, I've got to the point where money doesn't matter. And I'm not saying not being rude, but I detach myself from money. Like when I had none, I didn't care. When I had a lot, I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? It definitely makes things better. You could pay for anything. Say one of your good friends gets in trouble. You could bail them out without stressing. Anything that happens, you have extra money to help the people around you for. That's what I love, having money. That's the only reason I think money is great, because you could do whatever. People say, we want to have a barbecue. You could go to the store, buy everything, and not say a word. Just come, show up, your sister's house, your brother's house, with all the food. And you don't even have to say a word. You just do it all the time. And they just kind of know that you're gonna hook it up. You know what I mean? They don't ask. Everyone knows you're just going to do it. That's my favorite thing about being on point, working out, working every day, working out, staying disciplined, is providing for other people, man, in such a major way, in a way that just makes you feel amazing. So to me, I grind this hard. I get rich, not even for my own pleasure, so I can show everyone else the best time ever. Come to my house, I got a pool. Come to my house, I got a jacuzzi. I want you to relax. I want you to have the finer things in life. When you're around me, I want you to feel amazing. I want you to eat 5-star dinners. I want you to go on yachts. I want you to look at sunsets. I want you to be at the nicest beaches. I want you to be warm in the winter. I want you to be cool in the summer. I want you in all the nicest places. I can get you there if you hang out with the lifers. So, hey, I like a high-quality life. Other people, they're like, I'll go without this. I'll do that. No. High quality. Your standards create your lifestyle. If you have really high standards, you will have a beautiful lifestyle. Amen. Nothing is an accident. You know what I mean? You find yourself looking over 5-star beaches, hanging out 90% of the time. It's not an accident. It means you're going after these types of things. You love them. And it's not like stopping over people and getting rich over no matter what. It's about finding an honorable, beautiful way to send your energy into the world. And if you send your energy in the right way, so much energy will come back to you. It's like Nikola Tesla, when he sent up into the ionosphere, he got all that free energy. It's the same thing. Where do you think I get these 7-day-a-week work ethic to constantly push? Because I'm sending that energy out, that energy's coming back in. It's a frequency loop that I've created. You can too. It brings in money, it brings in good people, it brings in high energy, it brings in focused individuals, disciplined people, and you're ready to grind. Look, we may stay inside this trade, all looking well here for XRPZ. XRPZ looks good. I don't see how it doesn't hit my target on the 1-hour time frame. I should have stayed in the trade and let it cook, but I like to take my gains, and I like to show you how to get paid. I see Bitcoin ripping today to the upside, doing some serious damage. You do whatever makes you happy. It looks very likely we're going to get a pump. We're touching the 21 back above on the 2-hour. The 200 moving average is coming into play. We had nice consolidation. We defied a head and shoulder pattern, which could have dumped us. Kind of have a bit of a diamond here too, I guess. 119K for Bitcoin. Every time we get back above 119K, I get excited for a bigger move here. And so then XRP kind of in this more elongated rising wedge. People say you change the pattern. Of course you change the pattern. When you're sailing and the wind changes, you move the sail. You're inside a moving universe. Price action is just part of it. If you don't think you have to move and be versatile, then I don't know where you're at. So for anyone that tells you, you change the pattern, that's just crazy talk. That's someone that just doesn't know how to be progressive. Of course things are going to move. Of course you have to tweak it. This is chess. When you're playing chess against a chess player, do you know what they're going to do? No. You put out 5 probable moves, 10 probable moves in 5 different sections, and you watch them. If they move in that area, you now have them. You're now like, wow, he did the 3 things that I thought he might do. Now you work on the 2 things that you thought he might do after those 2 things. The more bridges you can build and the faster you get back to that bridge, the better chess player you are. That's neuroplasticity. People that can work on that part of their brain in a fast motion are people that can really excel. I'm teaching you some other skill way above trading. Trading will give you the skill though. Because by using neuroplasticity through trading, you're going to actually work through the brain. You're going to train the brain to be far more disciplined, far more advanced than the average person. You're going to see things they can't see, patterns they can't define, and you're going to be able to trade circles around them. You'll be buy houses they can't afford. You're going to be able to buy steak dinners they could never dream of. Why? Because you can pull money into your hand out of thin air with the knowledge that you know. Today, I just made $1,500 in an hour, less than an hour. I'm not trying to brag. I've been doing it many times. I've done it so many times, it doesn't matter to me. It's like getting wet. I'm already wet. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I've been wet so many times. Making gains is like getting wet. Once you've been wet 1,000 times, it's not that big of a deal anymore, is it? No. You know, and I might look this trade in front of you right now. You never know. I'm not trying to say I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread here. I'm just trying to be a guy and make it through a day, all right, with my 3 kids and my wife and do my job, which is I happen to be on YouTube. I didn't know my YouTube channel was going to blow up. Had no clue any of this was going to happen. 21-day moving average. We lose that. Likely we could pull back. Let's take a look at our big top 10 analysis for Bitcoin. We're going to end up back here at the 1-hour time frame. 119,000 holding. Bit of a shoulder, head. Kind of a, you know, I see it as a fragmented, inverted. That's an inverted head and shoulder. That's got a nice little move to the upside. Bit of a cup and a handle here. Sammy coming handy to the upside. Remember that? Every single day here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Man, DAG, we looked at DAG. We knew it could pump, but they stop hunted it beforehand. Look, they went down, snatched the stops, ripped it on up, grabbed that liquidity. They want it all. These guys are greedy, these VCs, whoever's working these. They want every piece of the pie that you can give them. I see the shoulder, the head of the right shoulder there too. I see it. And whether you see it or not, you know, if the bots see it, it is what it is. So altcoins looking absolutely hot today. DAG looking to blast. Look. This is, you see it? It's inside of an ascending triangle that just broke. See that? That thing's gone. I put out so many setups to the trading group this morning and last night. I hope you guys are privy to what's going down. We had our weekly screen share last night. It was awesome. That's still applicable. If you go here to the weekly screen share, you can grab it right there. Okay, and hit that link. Jump on in today. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Today, 6 months ago, I watched my first live or stream. Thank you, Sam, for showing up every day. I learned so much, and I am not the same. Commit. God bless you. Shout out to Maximilian, list 2703, man. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. Sam, thoughts on FCK 925? I like it. I think it's hot. I think it could do damage. I put it in a picture with SPX and with DJI. I like it. I think it's hot. For sure. Got it, MELANIA for high risk, high rewards trade, target 31. You don't need anything, defund the shorts. You said need some TA. You don't need anything. God gave you everything you need. You need nothing, but you would desire some TA. TA would be something that, you know, you wouldn't mind seeing 100%. But trust me, you need nothing. You are right where you got to be. You've got everything you've ever been. God has given us everything inside. We have enough to become billionaires internally already. All of us do. No billionaire becomes a billionaire. Yeah, the world throws resources, but the billionaire becomes a billionaire because when he realizes his value inside, and he gives that value to the world. Elon knew his value. A lot of people know their value. When you know your value, you can give value back to the globe. The value will get and this comes back to the energy you put out as the energy you receive. We started the live stream with this exact idea. All right. Let's move forward to BTC. I see DAG pumping up to 5 cents. I see everything doing damage. XRP still hanging out. We're not out the trade just yet. But it isn't, you know, we're hanging. We're hanging. Make an extra $600. Turn it into a $2,000 trade day on XRPZ. Day trading these altcoins is awesome in these moments. I don't date them. I just trade them, right? Bitcoin, NASDAQ doing damage. I may take profits on the NASDAQ. I like where I'm sitting here. It's a perfect, it did exactly what it needed to do. If I do that every time, I'm going to grow this account. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Shout out to anyone that took the NASDAQ trade with me. The nasty Nas. Sam starting it off. Ready to go. Yeah. And somebody says your wife has, wow, that's crazy. I'll tell her that might make her happy. I don't know if that's offensive or not. I don't know if you should be talking about my wife like that though, but God bless you. Yeah. I don't know how to respond to that. Yeah. Thoughts on ClearPool? We'll take a look at ClearPool. Thank you for asking. Mantra. So let's do our top-down analysis for Bitcoin. We'll probably end back up where we're at. Ethereum hit the target at 3,800. We've been talking about that for a long time. It finally did it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Crazy flag on FLOKI. Check it out. I know, I like FLOKI. And I have it to, I'll talk about it right now, actually, because I'm in FLOKI and I like FLOKI. So FLOKI here on Mexi. And it's inside this tight flag. And this thing looks like it's about to blast to the upside. I was about to say. Let's see. I couldn't see the time. So yeah, this flag looks beautiful on the 2-hour time frame. I mean, that thing looks like it's going to blast. So I see a move 37% for FLOKI. Only a matter of time. But you do whatever makes you happy. Gains, I'm now on vacation in Bali. Thanks to your 99 and the teaching. Also, thanks for giving us the DI trade before some months. It paid me well yesterday. What a pump. Hey, God bless you, man. Morning, Sam. Watching the stream while in line at Disney World vacation with the family. What are you seeing as an updated Solana target? Hey, God bless you, man. Out there at Disney. Let's take a look at Solana for you, even though it's not a super chat. Because it probably would get it in anyway, right? I mean, Solana booming. I see Solana headed to 215. That's my next target. That's this algorithmic move from this wick down here to that wick, and that kind of presents the bigger pump. If you're late or just getting on in, or you're trying to find positional strength, you know, you're looking at the 15-minute possibly. It just kind of did its thing. Altcoins seem like they're kind of breaking out a little bit. But then I would suggest some type of flag even here or there. But then it's going to rock to 200, man. Shout out to my Solana soldiers who never sold Sol. We bought more down at the bottom. I was able to sell at like 120, buy back at 106. It was crazy. That was that was tough for me, but I made it happen. So, thoughts on targets for Momo? Interesting. Sammy, please, Pepe. Hey, your lifer class and master friend mentoring lifer. Love to help. We'll answer question 24/7. Lifers love. We're here for you guys. Yeah, after your class and the master friend mentoring, lifers are there to help in the group. Join the trading group to find out more and get that constant love and that constant information, right? Wow, we got so much going our way. Let's take a look at BTC. See what's happening. What's up with my trade? Am I hanging on? Oh, they stopped me out. They stopped me out of my XRP trade. Dang nabbit. It's kind of sad. But it's, you know, and it's probably going to rip too. I stop playing games in these smaller time frames. Stick back to my 1 hour and just let that thing go. Like, it's likely going to follow. You can almost say, hey, it's still inside. It hasn't broken out yet. For me, it did. Could play that game, though. Be cool if it came back down to the bottom of the pattern one more time. Like, hit me, baby, one more time. We could make the same trade yet again. I like this trade right here for XRP. So if you're not even in yet, I would learn this education and figure out what I'm doing with the moving averages, the tightness, the patterns. And if you want to understand this, I teach this Saturday, the last Saturday of every month, and that's going to be this Saturday. I teach class. So jump on into class today. Hit the QR code to find out more. All right? Even here in the summer, I'm teaching class. I take no days off. It never ends. We keep pumping. We do what we got to do. Hit that QR code, okay? Join the class. The class will change your life. So many people have emailed me after that class and said, Sam, this class has changed me forever. Thank you so much. I can't believe it, And so may God bless everyone that supports me, takes that class, jumps on in, does the do, and puts in the work. We love you. We appreciate you. And we know how hard it is to maintain in this tough world. 9 to 5s, kids, responsibilities, life. It's not easy. Mom and dad getting old like me. My parents have passed now. I still can't believe they're gone. I just for a second thought they were here. For a split second, I said, Mom and Dad. I was like, oh, yeah, my mom's down the street. And then my mind said, no, they're not. They're gone. It's so crazy, man. XRP. I see a pretty big move coming for XRP to the upside. And this trade's kind of still sitting pretty right now. 2 to 8 risk-reward ratio. Everything kind of sitting where I like. I may get back into this trade. Everything ripping. Altcoin's looking good. Let's get back to our top-down analysis for BTC. So the weekly candle, was it amazing? What's happening now? Yeah, I see Solana in the short term going to $200. All right, Bitcoin, Binance. Let's back up here and see what's going down. You can see Bitcoin's ripping on the 7-minute. That's my model, right? It's basically the 21s coming into play in a flag above the 200 moving average. That's going to rip. I see a pump to 120. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP's got the liquidity right there, 119.9. That's the closest, deepest red. So they're about to liquidate those shorts right there. BOOKMAP's telling us that 120 is coming right now. So it makes you happy, but I'm usually spot on here, and we watch this almost every time, and it is a false move Monday, but today is a little different. And it looks like we're going to be pumping to 120,000 in the next, I'd say, hour or less. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm starting to see. And I even have the, we back tested this. Like 80% of the time this plays out, the 21 above the 200 moving average. That's why I do it over and over and over again. Last night, everything kind of started to play out in our favor. So let's go. Bitcoin, 119,100 as well. And so the weekly close was garbage. But looks like we may be actually being able to kind of tear it right back to the upside. And it may mean nothing. Just created a bunch of shorts to get liquidated. Who knows? If this candle closes like that, though, that's a failure. That's a swing failure. You know what I mean? And ICT will tell you that's a dumpage. 90% of the time, you get something like that. So we'd have to break above this resistance here. So look, we're the highest the candle's ever closed right now. If the Bitcoin would close right now, this would be the highest the candle ever closed. We never realized that. See, the close is 117. 119.86. Right now, we're higher than that 119.86. So 119, back to being somewhat support here on the weekly. Can we stay above 119,000? And we definitely bounced off 117K. So we used 117K as a springboard. Can we stay there? And this week is looking interesting. It would go against the odds if we turn green. It doesn't mean a couple times we have had a red candle and it was followed by a green pump, just like here. That did have that is basically a Thor's hammer, though. But it's not always bad. There's two, and we still had a pump there. There's a red one right there, and we had a massive pump. And it wasn't indecision doji, so this has some indecision doji status to it, the way it's back and forth. And are you buying your gold and silver? Are you taking care of business on Kinesis? I'll be getting more gold and silver here on Kinesis, and that's going up. The available balance continues to rip. I'm going to add more, probably tomorrow. I'm going to buy some more silver based on the chart. So I like what I'm seeing here. And I'm just, slowly putting some Bitcoin profits into silver. Then when silver rips, I'm going to sell it and put it back into Bitcoin. Eventually, Bitcoin will be leaving this account. You understand? But I'm going to use gold and silver to get more. Very simple strategy. I'm going to make money leverage trading, BTC and alts. I'm going to flow some of the profits into silver. When silver rips to $90, I'm going to sell it, put it into Bitcoin. I really don't think Bitcoin's going to 3x before I'll be able to 3x silver. But maybe I'm wrong. But, that's my plan. All right, and maybe 5x on silver with only a 3x for Bitcoin. And then when Bitcoin starts to pull back in the bear market, silver can execute another couple of X's there. And at the right time, I can switch into silver back into Bitcoin and really utilize this Kinesis. So that's what I'm using Kinesis money. Sign up to Kinesis today. They do sponsor the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Very, very thankful that they do that, right? And so you can see my assets here. I'm just building a silver portfolio. KAG is their silver coin. All right, you can also mint. There's also yields, all right? So I can get yield back. We should probably do that, right? The KAG account. And I'm going to start doing the yield, figuring it out, all right? And see if we can get some yield back even on the KAG, right? We'll stake the KAG in a fee pool, and we'll get it going. So there's a way to basically, and if you have gold sitting around doing nothing, and you're willing to risk maybe, a third of it, half of it, you can ship it to Kinesis. They'll turn it into their token, and you can start making yield and DeFi, things that you couldn't do. The gold's sitting there in a safe doing nothing. It's collecting dust. Put your gold to work here at Kinesis. And I do get sponsored, but I only work with things that I think actually work and make sense. That makes sense to me. XRP booming. Should never have left that trade. Right? 364. Ripping. Just set it and forget it. Walk away, right? Going to 432. I feel like I'm chasing the early morning pump too, though. Let's see. It did rip. I knew it was going to rip. They dolphin dipped me on that little. I should have just stayed right there. Where I got a little too advantageous there. It's all right. It's all right. I'm up with the day. No stress. Yeah, everything still looks like it could make a boom. 15 minutes a little high for the 21. Tell me to chill out for a second. Be nice if it comes back down there. That would be unbelievably great. And there's a chance we may get that. And I don't have to chase. I'll be happy with whatever happens. I hold bags of XRP as well. So Bitcoin, the weekly, a little far for the 21, but everything is looking gold. Looking money. And this rising wedge, you know, breaking out parabolically, showing that the world has spoken for the greatest asset in the world. Like, it's over now. Like, institutions, everyone is buying. Soon, biggest companies will buy $1 billion of it here and there. Everyone's going to buy it. It's not losing its value. For the last, 15 years, it's held value against every other asset in the world. It's battled every asset. If you put it in a little, basically, those, what are they, like, tournament of death or something like that, you know what I mean? Bitcoin would come out alive every single time. It would chew through the S&P. It would chew through the NASDAQ. It would chew through gold. It would chew through Peter Schiff's accounts. But it would chew through everything out there. You know what I mean? The guy's sticking to so many. I believe he has a stash of Bitcoin somewhere. He's got a whole face. He's got so many shareholders. If he starts flipping on Bitcoin, they're going to rip into him. So he's kind of positioned in a prison right away. And that's why you don't really want to sell your company and have to listen to shareholders, personally. I met a guy who was worth almost $500 million, and he told me, don't ever sell your company and become a pawn to the shareholders. He's like, then you're not free. He's like, you might as well work for someone then. He's like, sell it and walk away. Anyway, that was his advice to me. He was worth a lot of money. Because I told him my friends were doing, and he's like, man, they're in prison, man. He's like, they're rich, but they basically work for somebody else. You don't want to do that, he said. Things look good to the person that hasn't been rich before, but the person that already has money, they know. They know that a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. That's why it's good to hang around wealthier people when you get a little bit of money and ask them questions. Pick their brain. If you're lucky enough to be around someone wealthier than you, ask them. Get to know them. Go golfing if they invite you. Do that thing, make time for lunch. Create a relationship. It's important. So look, the daily's looking nice to me for Bitcoin. It might come back down to 117 one more time. It might go up and down, but this might be the time it rips. I'd like it to come a little closer to the 21. But I see a move to 131,000 here for Bitcoin. Kind of a cup and handle. It's kind of an uptrend here, and I like this flag as we reset on the stochastics RSI. Stochastics coming down, flag looking nice. So right now today, and it could change tomorrow. I might see something different tomorrow and have to flip bearish if we might lose a key level. Like if Bitcoin took a nasty dump. Some people say yesterday you were bullish. But if Bitcoin took a dump here, made a right shoulder, and I showed up tomorrow, I'd have to say, hey, that's a right shoulder. It's likely we're going to break down now. And I was like, but you were bullish yesterday, Sam. Yeah, I was. I didn't know what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no idea what Bitcoin's going to do. Oh my gosh, it's there. Look, the 777s yet again. I know you don't believe me, but look, the 777s and the concurrent viewers. God bless you all. Thank you so much for those 777s, baby. God bless my mom and dad. Mom and dad, I love you. That's them right there in that little, that dove bear, little thing we got there. Little dove. What do they call that? Banner, a little dove banner. And I got my dad's name and my mom's name in there. Finn and Daisy, their nicknames. They started these nicknames the last like 7-8 years. They were going out to the bars, sick of their old names, Jim and Irene. They're like, let's be Finn and Daisy, right? They wanted to have fun, recreate themselves. Feel like they were going out on the town, So towards the end, my dad read a lot. He spent a lot of time on the couch, barely, he slowly couldn't move as much. And then he exercised. I can't explain it. It happens. Like 4 to 5 years, it got so bad. And the next thing you know, he was having trouble walking. My mom said towards the end, like, I didn't see him. I was away for 2 months, Ah, man. Trying to think when the last time I saw my dad before he passed. It's like, I believe I saw him in February. I was going to see him. I was on my way. It was Memorial Day weekend, just in a couple weeks. And I was going to go see him. I actually had plans to see him in like a few more weeks. The daily could pump here to $131,000. I like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. All right. 4-hour time frame reset too on those stochastics. RSI's in a good spot. They came back up. And you're basically all eyes on this flag here for Bitcoin. And this is it. This thing could dump or pump. It's not a perfect bull flag, but hey, the world wants your money. Bitcoin. That should be a bumper sticker. The world wants your money. Bitcoin. Like everybody's going to start buying BTC. If you already have it, everybody wants it. The world wants your money. You were the first to get in. Congratulations. You got it before everyone realized what was happening. You see what I'm saying? So, and if you're just getting in and learning about crypto, you're still early. There's a lot of people that don't believe, don't agree, and don't understand. That's your edge. Use that to your advantage. I used that to my advantage. Look, when nobody cared about cryptocurrency in 2016, nobody cared about it back then. I knew it was hot. I knew my instincts were spot on. They told me things were going to be flying. It was going to be pumping. And, so. Remember, never chase, pay the trader. So we just did our top-down analysis for Bitcoin from the weekly all the way back down to the 4-hour time frame, and then we stop here on the 1 hour. 1 hour looks good to me. Looks like it's doing an inverted head and shoulder on the stochastics RSI. And then I see this inverted head and shoulder here that I just discussed. It's not perfect. All right, but you got this kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder. You got a bit of a cup with a handle. There's a Sammy cup and handy to the upside. All right, can we trade all the way to 121.88? Only time will tell. Looks more, we might start doing something like this and get tighter in the zone for the next few hours. It is Monday. I'd love a pump tonight at 6 p.m. I love sideways action until the afternoon, but you never know. And if Bitcoin goes sideways, that's going to open up the door for bigger price action. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. We want to see what's happening to Bitcoin dominance. That is the key to all of this. We talked about Bitcoin dominance. We expressed the idea that it was in a bear flag rising wedge. We said if it can lose this 200 moving average on the 4-hour, great. If it can use it on the daily, even better. That's the beginning of a bear market. That's when you start. This is when huge trends begin. The trend for the up, this is when the bear market begins, is when this gets above January 23. This starts to get above the 200 moving average. And then tether dominant, Bitcoin dominance goes on a tear, right? And it's Bitcoin season. Boom, 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 right? Then you need altcoin season. And altcoin season started, if you look at it, every time we lost the 200 moving average. Alt season. So now we've lost the 200 moving average on the daily. This is a beautiful sign. So you could basically you could go look at the stock market, and you could look at the daily 200 MA, and you could look at and you could look at Ford, Amazon, heck, Arm & Hammer, whatever you want. And you'll see that when they lost the 200 moving average on the daily, they took tumbles to the downside. Absolute tumbles. You see what I'm saying? And so with that information, you could have traded alt season. You don't even have to know about cryptocurrency. Don't you understand? All you'd have to know is how the 200 reacts when you lose it. You could take 20 trades. Does anyone see what I'm saying? So then you could take that information, slap it on Bitcoin dominance, and say, well, the last, and you could look at 50 coins or 50 stocks, even stocks. I'm telling you to look at 50 stocks, not even cryptocurrencies. Look at their daily 200 MAs when they lost them. And then go find how many, you might find 5 or 6 on Ford. You might find 5 or 3 on, find 50 of them. Find 50 daily. So this is how I developed my trading style. Instead of waiting for people to tell me stuff, like I went to Ford. You see, I knew, my brain hit me one day and said, Sam, all the information's here. I said, you just have to sit here every day and get it in. I said, you'll know more than everybody else, and then you'll make more money than everyone else. Then you'll be able to sell the information because you'll be smart, you'll get it. They won't have it. You'll have it. Look, they did the dolphin dip. They do the same stuff. Look, shoulder, head. They went down and got anyone who ran that. But now they're going to probably make an inverted head and shoulder here. But take a look at the daily. It's not really important. But you take a look at the daily here. It did break out of that flag. Look at when the daily lost the 200 moving average. Right there. When we got below it, boom. We were in a bear market for a while. There's a cross right there, bearish. Here's a cross right there. We came for the retest, but very bearish. Ended up being a dump. Here's a cross there. Very bearish. Ended up being a dump. And there's a cross there. Ended up being a pretty big dump. Here's a cross there. Big dump. Looks like 90% of the time when we lose this, we dump. Right? I mean, it's like spot on. So then you could go to Walmart. You could go, and then you could take that information, go to Bitcoin dominance, and say, well, we lost the 200 moving average. You say the odds are we might do one of the way we saw before. We bounce back to it or something. But it's 90% of the time, this thing's going down. Right? I'm not a genius. I'm a simpleton. I just went over the facts. This is how trading is not that difficult. I don't understand why people made it so hard. I don't understand why my brain sees it so simple. And that makes me wonder, is there something weird about me? How come I saw something so simple that everybody else couldn't? How come it's easy to me to see all this, but everyone else can't? How come you can go back in time and take all this information for the stocks and use it here and figure out where to trade alts, but nobody else can do that? Why is it so simple? I don't know. This has been the struggle in my brain for years. I don't get it. Because I did learn all this, but this was obvious to me before I even learned it. I said, oh, I can get this from there. I said, oh, of course. Now, and I knew if I took a big enough data set, now you can't just go to 1, 2 at a moving average on one stock. But I think 30 stocks and 30 different occurrences and 90 different moves in the course of 15 years, I think that's going to be a pretty good data set for you. And I think you can ride on that. And I believe that. So I started amassing data. You see what I'm saying? I fed my subconscious mind all this data. I didn't sit there and watch 100 YouTubers. I didn't sit there and look at indicators. I didn't buy someone's indicator and learn how to use it. I figured out how the stocks work, man. I watched all these stocks. You know, you gotta use some indicators because you need a constant. The indicators are just like it's just like when I'm in a scientific experiment and you use a variable or control. These indicators are just like that. They're my control. I need something that can show up every day in the same place or do the same type of thing, the same calculation. 21 days divided by 21. Keep giving me that. Then I can juxtapose price action to that. Then I can use that data to advance. This is autodidactic. This is where you have to be if you want to be the most advanced. If you want to take it to the next level and be on Elon status, be on another level status, be an entrepreneur, push yourself to the next level, you must be teaching yourself from the information already given to you. You can't be waiting for someone to feed it to you. I tell my employees this. I tell everyone that works for me this. I want to see you extract how your next position for the company is going to be out of your own mind. I expect you to see it before you see it, before I tell you what to do. See, that's the type of person I want in the company. Jamie's like that. He's spot on. The guy's like light years ahead. He's like Star Trek. You know what I mean? We're working on everyone else, pushing themselves to kind of see that high intuition that they have inside. A lot of people don't believe they have it. You all have it. If I have it, you have it. I am not special. I developed these tactics and these habits. You can develop them too. I developed consistency. I developed discipline. I was not always consistent in discipline. I developed these things, moving my stop loss to break even, taking profits every day. I developed this behavior. You don't wake up a good trader. Nobody does. You develop these skills. I was horrible. My emotions took over all the time. I was worse than most people you'd ever seen. I find I was harder for me than most. Maybe I just thought it was because no one really told me their struggles. So I never was able to compare it to a real story. You see? So Bitcoin dominance headed further to the downside. And that's a huge optimization here for these altcoins. That's going to be a big deal. So the more this continues to collapse, the better it is. We flip it upside down. We start making, basically seeing we trade this bullishly. We want to see a bull flag here. We want to see this thing continue to pump and do damage. Target could take it to 58.51. We're ripping here at 118.9 too at a really key level, right? Bang. 119,000 for BTC. 120K looking likely on BOOKMAP. As I stare at that big red, it says we're going for you. It usually likes to eat the red that's closest. The biggest red that's closest will get eaten. This tells me that the 120,000 liquidation shorts, these are people that have their stop losses or no stop loss. That's their liquidation level. And they think I can't see them. They think the market makers can't see them. We see you. We see every one of you people who shorted last night, who got that feeling in your bones that the market was going to go down and you took it. You don't short bull runs. I've said this over and over again. Haven't you seen, when is the last time I shorted the market? Been a while, right? You've seen me. I used to go back and forth all the time. Now, lately, I just long a lot. Why? Because you know what? While you're focused on a Bitcoin short, there's an altcoin ripping right now because Bitcoin dominance. So you're missing the mark. My humble opinion. You see what I'm saying? Like while you were focused on a Bitcoin short, I was getting 80x. You know what I'm saying? On DJI 6930. It's time to move the focus. Back in the day, it was time to short and long Bitcoin because that was it. That was the only game. The altcoins weren't fine. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, but where the attention goes, the money flows, man. And if you're not in the right spots, you're not going to be able to make these 80x's, 50x's. And that's another reason why you want to be in a trading group. You want to be around someone that can pivot at the speed of light, that can understand when you have to make a move, when you shouldn't be trading this or trading that, because based off instinctual movements that have come over time. This takes years and years of trading markets to develop. This is why you want to be in a trading group, so you can develop these skills with someone that's already developed them, or you're going to miss out. Go to cryptolifer.com. Stop playing yourself. I'm telling you right now, I'm here every single day. I know it's calling you. You keep playing games, $99 a month. What if you spent $100 a month on this month? If you got Chick-fil-A twice, man, 3 times, for crying out loud, and you didn't join the trading group, you're messing up. And you can subscribe to a monthly, a quarterly, or a yearly subscription. I subscribe to this every single day. and it's changed my life. So I don't know what to tell you. Do you want to fly around the world? Do you want to see things you never saw? Do you want to buy properties, Airbnb? Do you want to make cash flow? Do you want to have multiple streams of income? 7, 8, 9, 10 streams of income? You want to become a multi-billionaire? Change the world? You want to give billions of dollars away to causes that you love when you die because you care that much about the globe? Do you want your energy to kind of keep going forever because you made such a change here? That's what getting rich is. It's not about amassing these dollars. It's about leaving something back that everyone else can see when you're gone, man. And no one will remember you. Who cares? It's not even about that. It's just about the energy you leave. Leave great energy. Pura vida, baby. Amen. TNA on ENA on the 1 hour. Thanks for all you do, Sam. Hey, God bless you. I own that coin and I like what's happening. XRPH, please. XRP Health. That thing actually does follow. And we got some super chats in here too as well. Let's take a look at Ethereum. This trade ripping to the upside, up 6.99%, which is a lot for Ethereum on a day. Bang, bang, bang. Hit the target at 384. Sean, take a screenshot of this if I didn't already post it to the group so you have it. If not, you can go back and get it. Use ShareX if you don't know what I'm doing. ShareX is a great place to take a screenshot, and it'll work with your print screen button, and then it will copy paste too. You can hit print screen, take a picture, and then you can copy paste that picture. See, I just copy pasted and there's the picture. And then you can use it whenever you want. It flips to your Control V button, which is really what you want for default when it comes to taking screenshots, right? That's how I'm able to post screenshots in 2 seconds of anything I see all the time at the speed of light, right? So for me, this was it. It kind of broke out and it's retesting the top of the channel. You could say it's still in the channel. It's going to come back down to the bottom one more time, but I feel like it broke out and it's retesting the top. Look for ETH to continue to pump and do some damage. Again, if it moves back in the pattern, so be it. But $4,000 is the move here for Ethereum. And I see it coming pretty fast. Funny, my buddy called me too. He's up big. He got in 300, 1,200 bucks. He's got more money than he started with. And there was time when ETH kept going up and down. He was like, what's going on, man? Why? He kept texting me. I said, just stay patient, man. Stay patient. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So yeah, Ethereum, I would watch the flag of the 5, the 15, see the 21 come in, make sure this flag's out, like flag it out somewhat. And then that's your next entry somewhere in that consolidation, and boom, $4,000 for Ethereum. Looks very likely. We just gave you a beautiful trade here too. I gave the trade right here. On Saturday, it was tight right there, Saturday night, and we blew up Saturday night, and we've been pumping ever since. A little bit of a slight pullback, and we were gone. Ethereum. XRP knocking on that door, 367. So I get back in on weeks. And that trade was on weeks. We made a massive XRP trade on weeks. God bless everyone that jumped on into that trade. I'd love it to come back down to the bottom of the target or possibly retest. Come do a retest, make a flag, just like we're seeing on Ethereum. A little bit of a slowdown here, and then boom. Maybe 2-3 hours from now, we get a bigger pump to the upside. That's right. Your creator wishes for you to be rich. You must bless others. The greatest feeling in the world, 100%. The devil wants you to be poor and think you can't do it. The devil, every time you have a fear thought, a negative thought, a thought that pulls you back, you know, every time you have a beautiful thought, an empowering thought, a thought that pushes you up, God, right? A negative thought, the devil, man. Stay away from negative thoughts. Push them out of your mind. And when you're doing the wrong thing, you get pushed into more negative thoughts. You don't realize it. It pulls you in without you knowing it. That's why they call alcohol spirits, man. They call it wine and spirits, because spirits could get into you, man. You don't become the same person. There's a reason why they call it spirits. This is about to pump, in my humble opinion. DJI 69.30. Next target is 61% gains at 9, and then it's going to hit 10 cents. And then it's going to be gone, baby, gone. So we already looked at Solana. God bless you. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. We'll take a look at it for you again, but $200 is the target for Sol. Bang, look at that. And if you're, you don't want to chase, you wait for, some type of flag here. But look, the 5-minute flag said it was going to move to $200, and it's on the way right now as we're talking. Someone asked about, let's take a look at the super chats and see what's happening here in the fan funding. 11 ton, 1110, moving fast here today. Buenos dias, Sam. Can you check out STX? Gracias. Are the old BRC20 coins going to come back? Is STX going to pump? Is Orange Coin going to come back? Are we going to get a BRC20 surge yet again? There was so many surges. You know, this 5-minute flag looks nice on STX. It tends to pump. With DeFi and Bitcoin, you know, that's might even pump out this flag and never go back down. Could be the entry right there. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I never do. All I do is play probabilities, but we're pretty dang good at it. STX looks good to me. 5-minute flag. This is how Ethereum and Litecoin looked just the other day, and they both did damage to the upside. I think you're spot on something here, and my trading system says yay. Again, you got to have your own system, your own sauce, even, you know, super chat, whatever you do, and the people watching. Never do something you randomly see on YouTube, please, dear Lord. But, you know, if you get the sauce, the information makes sense, and you have the education, and you're going over probabilities, hey, and it fits your trading style, then that's, you know, it is what it is. This fits my trading style. I'm willing to tell you that. After years and years of the data I amassed, I've never taken a day off, 1,700 days. You think they would actually, you know, you learn something, right? I think so. I would agree. Let's get back into those super chats. We got a lot to cover here today. Thank you so much for the $46 in chat revenue. You people are absolutely amazing. That will come back to you tenfold. You didn't have to give, but you did. For the machine, much love. Thank you for the daily sauce. Missing out if you aren't in the group. Shout out to Mad B. Hey, people will do whatever they want, right? Today, 6 months ago, I watched my first live stream. Thank you, Sam, for showing up every day. I learned so much, and I'm not the same. I can accelerate you. If I showed up 3 times a week, you wouldn't have learned as much. I accelerated everybody's learning that was more consistent. You learned what you would have learned in 3 years and 6 months because we showed up every single day, you see? We do that all the time. Got a Melina for a high-risk reward trade. Target 31, needs some TA. Look at Melania. Let's take a look at that. STX looks like it's about to pump right now. Out this flag. Looks like it may start pumping soon. Sooner than later. XRP looks like it's just going to continue to rip. A breakout boomer. Let's take a look at Melania. We gave you a lot of pointers today. I don't know what else I could do for you. But you do got to show up every day, and you do want to show up when no one else is paying attention. All right, he says target is 31 for Melania. You know, it's in the flag that everything's in, which is a good sign for you. You know, that's that Bitcoin flag. It's like the whole market consolidating. This thing looks like it's going to launch way past that, probably to 35. I could be wrong. Might come down to 25 too, though. It could get tight inside here first. But I do see it hit at 35 sooner than later. God bless all. 4-hour MACD ready to rip. Yes, we've talked about XRP. Thank you. We'll take a look at the 4-hour for you, though. I was just looking at the 1-hour. It looks so good. Yeah, the 4-hour stochastics RSI. Look at them there, curving up, pointing up. RSI pointing up. Lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. Basically breaking out on the 4-hour in the last 20 minutes. That's just the kind of like, you could buy the breakout right now with a stop inside the pattern. See if that will rip up to 416. You know, that's, you can buy the breakout when we're very bullish. I don't like doing it. It's low volume, but you can buy it when we're very, very bullish. Thanks for the info. God bless you. Thank you so much for the $100, man. 100 PEN. Thank you. Appreciate that. That was like $30. It went from 46 to 74 or $28. God bless you, man. Thank you. Someone else gave PEN. What is PEN? I don't even know. Filipino dollar? I don't know. Targets for RIOT. Inverted head and shoulder on the weekly. Fresh breakout. Will Mara and CS follow too? You think? Thank you, Sam. I mean, Mara has been such a... Come on, Mara. Back to 19. It is breaking out, and it is starting to flag out yet again. And it's funny. My Mara's money's been in there. I'll probably take 150 grand out when it's finally said and done. 2 years, too. There'll be a boatload of money in there just sitting there. I'll buy my boat with Mara or something. That's boat money, in my humble opinion. A couple hundred racks, right? There we go, Mara, right? Wow, shout out to the 1,800 beautiful souls on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Thoughts on Momo? We'll look at Momo. You know, Mara looks like it's about to break out back to 30. Finally kind of get its bearing here. It's got so much Bitcoin. It stopped selling it all off at one point. I don't know what you guys were doing, Mara, but stock should be higher in my humble opinion. But hey, it is what it is. It's going well. Let's take a look at Riot. I see Mara about to do damage. I own Mara, so you do what you want with that information, but I do own it. You know, I'm always open with that. Let's take a look at Riot on the NASDAQ. Riot, we looked at it breaking out on the bigger time frame, right? It's a bit of a double bottom there. There's your cup and handle. It did break out. My target for Riot is 30. Once it gets above this resistance, it's going to fly up to 21, consolidate, and then not much resistance there to 32 as well. So I don't know about Clean Spark, right? You looked at CSLK. Same idea, though. All looking pretty bullish on the daily. They're just getting their breakouts now for whatever reason. They're like way behind. But that's just, I guess, how miners work. They're latent or something. They're behind the price. And again, had I not bought that miner and bought Bitcoin instead, would have made way more money. A miner stole money from me by buying, you know, not stole, but it's my fault. But I didn't. If I didn't buy Mara stock, and I bought Bitcoin, so people that were afraid to buy Bitcoin and didn't want to get exposure and thought they could buy the, no, Bitcoin's the king, you know. And people think they can get the ETF and not hold the Bitcoin. One day you're going to be pissed that you don't hold Bitcoin. So the ETF is going to make you feel good. You're going to make some gains, but you're going to have to take that money out, pay a fee, and then buy Bitcoin with it. So it's going to give you less Bitcoin in the end. In my humble opinion, like if you have 150K in there or whatever, you make money on Bitcoin, then you got to sell it. There's probably some fee. Then you got to convert it. Then you got to get it back into some place where you can buy Bitcoin. Unless they're going to be able to optimization. They should make it a convertible way where you can get Bitcoin through the fund. And they'll probably do that, you know, I think through demand. And because they know they can make more money with the fees, why would they let you go somewhere else and do that and give it to Coinbase? See what I'm saying? So they should keep you in-house. And so it makes sense that business will take care of business there. And eventually we will have people doing what they got to do, right? XRP Health boomed out of this. You know, it seems to follow Bitcoin, XRP. And it is, you know, somewhat smaller multiples. Like it just went from 6 cents to 9 cents. That's a 50% move. Again, I would look for some type of flag here now on the 1 hour now that you've pumped. But definitely worth possibly putting an alert on. And it's just a lot more high risk than XRP, though. That's all. Right? XRPH, please. Thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to do that. Wow, Super Chats just came in heavy. $100 came in fast. $141 in chat revenue. You people are amazing. Let's do a TAN on ENA and see what's happening to ENA. I keep hovering over Bitcoin, 118.95. XRP at 363. And Bitcoin, 118.950. Definitely looks like they're going to liquidate those shorts there at 120K first. But you never know. But that's what the probability is starting to tell me from years of doing this and using BOOKMAP. Let's take a look at ENA, Ethena, right? I like this coin. I put it out there. It had a beautiful setup. It obviously did not play out back in May. Well, May, everything dumped, right? We got the bear market lows, so to speak. This load up at 25, and it already did a double up. Everything was in this flag on the 4 hour. I said, watch your 4 hour 21 above the 200 gains. You see what I'm saying? There's just gains there. Like, that's my favorite setup in the world. The 4 hour 200 above the 4 hour 21 above the 200. And you hit the target. Now you got a little bit of a wick to deal with. I'd go to the 1 hour time frame. A little overbought. 15-minute did hit previous support as resistance. When you start to rip a lot, you kind of need the smaller time frames to make sense of stuff. Just how it works. Head to possibly like 68, you know, but I'd got to see the bounce first. You know what I mean? It could easily start to drop. I don't know, you know, price action has to stay inside that flag. So I set up flags. If it stays inside the flag, I take it. I have no idea where price is going. I know where it's supposed to go once it fits like the structure that I put out. You see what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. Thanks for the info. Shout out to you and Dude Tang Crypto member for 15 months. Thank you so much. Thank you for your consistent excellence. God bless you, brother. And these are the times where you really appreciate it because, like, the market got sketchy. A lot of people started bugging out. A lot of people left the market. A lot of people got in their head. You see what I'm saying? And then they decided to bounce, right? So, Caspa for the win, baby. Just absolutely ripping on the 15. And we told you that Caspa was looking nice onto this big flag, right? Even yesterday. And I showed you the inverted head and shoulder. Everyone's like, why is Caspa ripping? Because it had a nice setup. You know what I'm saying? Like, a setup is a setup. It's that simple. Let's go to the 1 minute for Caspa. Is it showing? Yeah, it got above the 200 moving average. If you just listen to me and you use the 1 minute 200, you will get so paid. Look, you got Caspa there when it got above the 1 minute 200. You got Caspa there. And now it's ripping. Absolutely ripping. Back to almost 12 cents. This is huge. KRC 20s are hot right now because this has a really nice tech, man. It has Ghost DAG, right? And people don't realize how hot it is. And I never gave up on my Caspa. I still hold my bags of Caspa. I still got them on my hard wallet. So just chilling. And when the time is right, I will unload Caspa too. And I'll probably have a boat called Caspa. K-A-S-P-A. You know, it sounds kind of corny, but maybe I'll do it. The Caspa King, it will be called. Caspa King, right? 119.2, Bitcoin getting that rippage. Love seeing that. Absolutely love seeing that. XRP, 364, 365. I usually sell early, so if I sell, usually there's a pump coming. Hey, boss, joining a bit late. Do you already look at Algo by chance? No, send in a super chat for TAs and deep dives. Thank you. That's an Adam and Eve. And that's an Adam and Eve. I know, right? Loving my HNT bag and mining. The system's new, man. Just saying. Hey, God bless you, man. I hope it works for you and you like it. I just couldn't get with it. You know why? I got in super early when it first came out, and we never got the benefit of it. But hey, if you jump in now and the infrastructure is strong, I hope it could continue to do damage. Yeah. Sol just absolutely taking numbers and kicking butt. About to go to $200. It's 198. We told you Sol was hitting 200 like 5-10 minutes ago. And XRP doing damage, everything ripping. Today's the day to be alive. 120 about to get flattened. Looks like we're going to go take out those shorts and liquidate the shorts. Today is just one of those days. Some days you sit here, I can't figure out the price. I'm going back and forth. The price action's not that simple. Other days it's spot on. You can see exactly what's going to happen. These are the days of our lives, my friends. All right? These are the days of our lives. Mexi Futures doing damage. Damage cheese, baby. What a beautiful day it is to be alive, huh? And today's a gorgeous day. On top of that, it's going to be 75 and sunny today. See that full forecast? Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Today's going to be 79 and sunny, like one of the most beautiful days. Tomorrow's 85. Tomorrow's 93, 94. Wow, we're going to get... Actually, wait, that's the wrong weather. I don't live there. Yeah. All right. About to say, don't get to 94 over here. Yeah, 79 today. Beautiful 73 and sunny tomorrow, 73 and sunny on Wednesday, 76, 79 and sunny on Friday, 80 and 78. I mean, 78 degrees is the best weather on earth. Massachusetts and Cape Cod in the summer is the greatest weather you'll ever get. We get this nice kind of cool air from Canada. We get the warm air coming up the coast. We get this cross breeze. Unbelievable. It's really where you want to be. If you like the weather, if you like the beach, if you like surfing, if you like that, you know, that whole vibe, then this is the place for you. Dude, everything that has a heartbeat is going to rip today. FARTCOIN going to rip. We told you FARTCOIN was one of the strongest coins in the game. We gave you the cup and handle for FARTCOIN. We talked about it so many times. We showed you this cup and handle. We got in the entry 119. It's at 161. No stop loss got hit in the making of this trade. Gains, baby, gains. This thing could rip all the way to 251. You see what I'm saying? My target's 251. It's a giant cup and handle. Could have got in when I gave you the trade. I'm sorry, but I gave almost every setup that was hot. Florida's super hot right now. Heat index of 112. That's what I'm saying. I'm so happy. I jump out of Florida in the hottest times of the year, and I jump into the nicest weather of the year for 2 to 3 months. That's just, you know, I worked hard for that ability to do that. I don't mean to brag, but hey, when you get rich enough, you could pay for your environment, man. You can buy the type of place you want to live. You don't have to be stuck where you're from. Yeah. Cape Cod is perfect right now. Pruning roses on the water while making gains. Unbelievable. Shout out to Steve of the USA. Yeah. And these are blessings, everyone, that we're all receiving today because we stayed in the crypto space. We didn't give up. We believed in ourselves. We never stopped. And when everyone else decided it wasn't time, it didn't happen fast enough, and decided to abandon this market, we were still here, right? Be on the lookout for FARTCOIN liquidating your shorts. So funny, right? Might get a little wet down there. What do you think about we doing hurricane streams this year? I hope none. Yeah, I hope we don't have to do any hurricane streams this year. Not like last year, right? You know, MANYU is getting a lot of traction, I will have to say. But it fell off, came back down, didn't do the damage. Kind of put it in a bigger flag now, possibly, something like this. I don't love the market structure there, but if it can stay inside the end of this, there's a chance it does break out. Whole length of the target would be, the whole length of this pole would be the target, though. All the way to, like, I don't know, 8.5. I sat on Mara for over a year, sold most of it and converted it to MSTR. Mara will have its day, but it seemed to be mental. Yeah, man, I wish I did what you did. I should have sold Mara for Master. I would have been up huge right now. Just went to Seafood Sam's in Falmouth Saturday. We ate good and rented a Jeep for the trip. Oh, that's so cool, man. Shout out to Cash Oak. Yeah, I love Seafood Sam's. I ate there as a kid. It's right there, man. Right next to the Palmer Ave lot there at the Woods Hole, man. So cool. For miners, Bitcoin needs to hit 126K to be the same profitability as the day it halved. That's not adjusted for increased difficulty. Yeah. There you go. So he broke it down for you. Caspa pulling back on that 1 minute. Been pumping hard. Never chase. Take your profits. XRP 363. If I can get it on that low again. Remember, never chase. Pay the trader. Thank you for the $50 super chat. That's unbelievable. Shout out to Danielle Cotia. Be the first to reply. Thank you. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. Didn't even ask for something. Just threw $50 down. Hey, man, $163 in chat revenue. People are absolutely amazing. That's dinner tonight again. I can get everybody burgers and not even stress it. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Like, you have no idea. I'll continue to show up every single day and do what I do. Thank you very much. May my mother and father thank you too up in heaven, man. They're blessed that you're being so good to their son. He's all alone out here. And you people have been so good to him. Thank you, said my dad. Thank you, said my mom. The lifers have really taken care of their son. You guys have been awesome. May God bless everybody here on the stream. I'm so grateful for every moment I have on this stream, every moment I have alive. Dear Lord, thank you for my breath. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for my energy. Thank you for the ability to find these charts. Thank you for my mind and my life and everything I've been given. Thank you for my parents. All the times they kept me safe. You know, I never banged my head. I didn't have some type of brain injury. You know, I'm so grateful. You know, many days I cry tears of joy because I am so grateful. You would too if your life was going, you know, if you were working so hard, things were going well. I'm telling you, man, I couldn't imagine a better moment. And every moment I'm in is a great moment. This morning, I saw my 3 kids. I hugged them all. I looked them deep in the eyes and said, I'm so blessed to have you. My children are everything. My children are the best, man. Children are the best, brother. Your kids are your world. Your kids are your world. Clearpool looks interesting. Bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom. Feels like it's kind of made its statement there at 15. Headed back to 18. Let's see where Clearpool was back in the day, right? 36, 35. It ain't that bad. It could double bottom and then it could get to 36 and then continue to rip. Remember PALMAI? Is that right there, right? No, Palm Economy. I want to look at PALMAI. Remember that thing was so hot. Remember when AI was just all anyone talked about? These coins were just, you know, I look at this. I'm seeing these giant double bottoms in the whole market. What it's telling me is we can buy right here. Stop losses below the 21-day moving average and just take these things up. You know, XLM did it. And I know it seems strange. It's not like, you know, but that's a pattern. I know, you know, it's not like we're trading a flag. You're not really, but you're above the 200 moving average. You could wait for the 21 to touch and see the flag. Or the buy right now and just, that's a double bottom. You know, it tells me it's 68% chance it's going up 78% to 89. So I would watch PALMAI. And I believe AIs will have their run again. And AI agents will come strong and things will start to get crazy. So, you know, just, and then good thing I paid the trader there for XRP, right? So. I'd like it if we go sideways for the afternoon and we begin to pump later on today. Just gives me that Monday afternoon damage, right? PALMAI looks interesting. Let me get back into the super chats, though, and out of my own thoughts here. A good indication for bull run ending is when the daily volatility is deeper and faster. Sweet, ready for the liftoff. The stream was set to me at a time. I don't know what that means. God used, this stream was sent to me at a time. Amen. I see what you're saying now. Yeah. God used you to help those in need, Sam. I would give a lot just to have a dad as caring and as loving as you. You're blessed, Sam. Thank you. God bless you. I want my daughters to remember me. You know, I was at a wedding one day in Long Island, and there was an old woman there, and she talked about how amazing her father was and how much she missed him. She was like 78. And I just said, I want to be remembered like that by my daughters. I want my 3 daughters to all say I was the best father ever. That's my goal in life. I do all this for them. Everything I do is for my kids, my wife, to make sure they want for nothing, they have everything they need, and to also teach them hard work ethic, that nothing comes easy. Daddy has to go down and live stream every single day, right? There's no grind. Nothing is free here. Every single time we work for it. This live stream, right? 100,000 subscribers. We fight for every single thing we get. Look, HNT's in a beautiful double bottom. I mean, just like we showed you on the other asset there that we just went over, all right? Just like PALMAI. I'd look for this to consolidate on the daily. You know, if you're lucky, you get a beautiful consolidation. Maybe it continues to pump and you don't get a chance, but a good percentage of the time, I'd say 80 to 90, it's going to go sideways before it pumps, connect to that 21. And that's going to be your next move there for HNT. So I'd watch HNT very, very closely, and I'd keep it on my radar very, very closely. I'm still suffering from like head pain from when I got blasted in the head last Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it was. No, it was Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday afternoon. Yeah. I got banged in the head by like a piece of metal on top of some type of like paddleboard. It came off the top of a car and hit me in the head super hard. Cut my head open here up at the top. The bump is better, but I still get these kind of strange headaches now. Like I just got one right now during the stream. It's weird. I'm okay. Don't get me wrong. It's not affecting the TA. My brain works spot on. I don't want you to think I can't accomplish what I got to do, but I definitely got hit in the head, man. And I wonder if I was slightly concussed. I think I had a slight concussion for the last 4 days. But I'm all right. I'll be fine. No days off, baby. HNT. I just see it getting tighter. A move coming sooner than later. Yep. ALGO, please. ALGO. The banker's coin. The Clinton coin. ALGO. The Hillary Clinton coin. Let's take a look at ALGO. Pumped and dumped. Look at that. I did see it ripping out of this flag to the upside. Went up 18%. Came right back down. Let's take a look at ALGO on the bigger time frame. Whenever I look at anything, I look at it on the biggest time frames. And if you look at ALGO, it's kind of like a lot of other coins are a little more hype. Their market structure is a little better, but it is connected to governments. It does have that Byzantine fault tolerance and some other cool stuff about it. Its own proprietary blockchain. You know, it's got a double bottom that broke out on the 5-day. You can see there's a clear double bottom that broke out. That's momentum. 3-day chart looks good above the 200 moving average. The daily. So you look at the daily and you start to flag it out. Just see how the daily flags out today. It pumps up a little more, goes sideways, and then it's likely to continue to rip. Everything's about to set it up on the daily for a rippage. Yeah, and I do think it can extend past that move to 52. As long as it stays above the daily 200, I mean, it's about to do my model right now. When the 21 crosses, we get close to it above the 200, that thing's going to rip. I put an alert on ALGO. Not my favorite coin. I do hold some. But I'd put an alert there for ALGO. Alerts on ALGO. Also, if you can't come to the stream and you're working, you just can't see that whatever reason, you know. You might drive a bus right now. You might have something where you might be actually in a crane, a forklift. You can hear me, but you can't. I post everything to the group, so later on at lunch, go back in and see everything that we talked about. ALGO, PALMAI, STX, Ethereum, right? Turbo, like all the different things that I got cooking here for the day. And we already made an XRP trade, and I executed it beautifully. I chased a little bit and took a little bit of my profits off the table, but we did pretty dang good, right? So we paid the trader. I'm already up on the day over $1,000, so what else? You know, and it's not even 12 o'clock yet, so. And I could trade all night. You know, I might make a trade tonight at 9 to 10 p.m. and make another $2,000. Like, I've done it before many times, especially on a Monday night. Today could be a $5,000 day, whatever it could be. Who knows? It could be, you know, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a losing day. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make sure of that. So that's the key here. Beautiful champagne dial date, just man. Gotta love it. ALGO, baby. Looking spot on. Spot on. Bitcoin getting beat to the ground right now. All the way back to 118,005. Looks like it got nasty on the smaller time frames. Come on, Bitcoin. Stop doing that false move Monday nonsense and get back into price action here. All right. Just consolidating, getting tighter in the zone. I don't really think much about it. This is Bitcoin dominance upside down. We want to see this thing continue to pump. Or dump, we mean. You know. We're going to take a look at Tether dominance. Are you watching the macro analysis video every Friday? That's going to give you some really key insights. I've called the bottom of the NASDAQ on those. I've called S&P like 6 or 7 times now in the last 2 to 3 years. That macro video has done numbers. Twice I've called the bottom of the S&P in a similar October area. I think once was October 3rd or 4th. Once was the 22nd prior to 2 back-to-back years. We found hidden bullish divergence on the 3-day chart about 2 years ago, and that gave us the bottom of the S&P when everyone was bearish again. Here we found that inverted head and shoulder. Tether dominance. Why does it look bullish? I think I'm upside down. You know, I am, right? I want to make sure. Yes. Yeah. So Tether dominance looks like it's going to make a flag to the downside too as well. Descending triangle, just like an ascending triangle. And then continue to the downside. So everything looking great. You know, why be in Tether when you can rip to the upside here? So I like what I'm seeing for Tether. Everything looking pretty dang good. So, another beautiful day to be alive here on the channel. If you want to subscribe, if you want to trade what we trade, you want to do what we do, you want to learn what we learn, you can subscribe to Weeks. I buy DCA Spot. You don't even have to leverage trade. We have DCA Spot, BitTinex, BTCC. BTCC, I'm trading the NASDAQ, right? So you can trade Tech 100 right here on BTCC. Looks like we're going to get that initial next pump here on the NASDAQ. So I'm still in the NASDAQ trade. They're pumping this money to the upside. Money is flowing into the traditional markets. The big, beautiful bill is going to pump so much money into these markets, and they're going to have to print. When they print, that money's going to lower, and then they're going to lower the interest rate while they print. Come on now. It's all setting up for a perfect storm for risk-on assets to absolutely demolish the industry and pump. And we've been waiting this whole time, just sitting, ready to sell when everyone else jumps on in, super excited with their free money. You know? So, I'm excited. You should be excited. Beautiful time to be alive. Solana doing damage. 95% chance we do not get a rate hike. Rate cut in July. In about 9 days, we have a meeting, okay? The 17th, it's now a 55%. They're going to cut the rates in September. The thing is, we should be getting a pump the next meeting. Why? Because the questions he answers, they should be leading towards a bullish decision, some type of bullish pump. You see what I'm saying? Like people, he should be more dovish because he's going to be leaning towards a cut in September. And everyone's going to be at, and that's kind of, we should be getting pumps during that speech. That I'm kind of already, seeing how it should go because a lot of his answers should be kind of pertaining to whether or not he's going to cut the rate. And if he's going to cut the rate, he can't say he's not going to and then do it. He'll look stupid. So he has to kind of lean into the fact that he's doing it, right? So then when he does it, it all looks correct. That's how I'm looking at it. He can't look like a flip-flopper, so he's got to kind of... So in my humble opinion, we're going to get some bullish little cues here and there as he's dovish leading into September on the July meeting. I could be wrong, and maybe it's 2 months apart. We don't get that. But I speculate on that too as well. And I've seen that speculation play out over time. NASDAQ, baby. I trade the NASDAQ all the time now. And we have fun doing it. Shout out to Kinesis Money, a great place to store your assets. They have Bitcoin, Ethereum, US Tether, Bitcoin Cash, and access to a gold and silver peg coin. Bang. You can also get yield on your gold coin and more. It's awesome. You can get metal back. It's so much. Check your metal back on purchases. Earn gold on purchases made at thousands of online retailers. Find a store. So you get a metal back card. All right. Up to 10% paid back on your metal back purchases. Earn gold paid into your account. 6,000 retailers shop and retail across the globe. Find a store. Pretty awesome, right? So use metal back on your purchases and get metal back. Get gold back, man. No one else is doing this. Kinesis has found a way to make gold at least more competitive than it used to be, like a crypto. They give it a DeFi. They give it money. They give it earnings. It's pretty awesome. All right? Sign up to Kinesis today with my link to find out more. And thank you so much for the sponsorship from Kinesis. We greatly appreciate it. I have been buying silver. I got silver right now. I'm buying silver. My idea, if you're new to the channel, is I'm taking gains out of, some altcoins and Bitcoin, and I'm putting it into silver. When silver rips, I'm going to sell it and put it back into Bitcoin. Slow, steady. Not everything could be a 10 or 20x. Some things are just where they got to be for then, and then you put them where they need to be for the next move. And you're not losing money. You're beating inflation the whole time. That's the key. That's the plan. All right. US Tether looks like it's going to take a fall to the downside. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Trump media reveals Bitcoin treasury holdings have reached $2 billion. They now hold $2 billion in Bitcoin and related securities, making up 2/3 of its liquid assets as part of an ongoing crypto treasury strategy. Wow. And they're going to get bigger and bigger and stronger with crypto. They understand it. The faster you understand crypto, the better off things go. Yeah. XRP set to capture 21 trillion from Swift. We talked about that. That's big, big news. XRP open interest hits soared to record 10.98 billion. Double cup pattern, eyes $5.39. I see it too. Spot on. And yeah, so a lot of cool news out there and people working with Bitcoin behind the scenes to enhance their ability and their influence. Wow, Bitcoin taking a beat down now, down 118 to 477. It's below the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. It's bleeding out a little bit. XRP still holding 362. And all coins are doing damage. Let's take a look at XRPBTC. Let's take a look at ETHBTC. Soared to the upside. That's what we were looking for. And we really did start to get alt season a little bit here. And when the ETH Bitcoin crash gets above the 200 moving average on the daily, boom. Again, like I said, we're looking for this to kind of pull back just a little bit here, so even sideways, maybe an uptrend. I feel like people want ETH so bad. But just some type of consolidation here so we can get ready for our next big leg. That's going to be a fat leg up to the upside. Ethereum's on a tear, and this is going to start a bigger move that's going to continue to pump. Ethereum could get to its all-time high against Bitcoin. This has been a long time coming, everyone. So we're waiting for this 21 to catch up. Price action to still go sideways, and boom, ETH will be on its next big run. Look at XRPBTC. This means if you put Bitcoin into XRP, the XRPBTC pair, you'd be making massive gains here. All right. Again, flip this chart upside down. We talked about dominance. We talked about learning when altcoin season is when Bitcoin dominance loses the 200 MA moving average because we juxtapose it on multiple assets throughout the world. Same thing here on XRPBTC. All right. Same exact idea and concept. XRP Bitcoin looks just like XRP USD. And it's above key levels and really starting to take storm. They gave you a lot of time to accumulate XRP. It's not like they pumped it in our face. Like they kind of showed us what they were doing too. Trump in the meetings, David Sachs, Brad Garlinghouse, Over at Mar-a-Lago, everything kind of doing its thing. You know what I mean? The SE case got the appeal, the mess up, just so interesting how this is taking place over time, right? I see XRP continuing to beat up on Bitcoin. I see no reason why it's going to take a monster move down anytime soon. Awesome, 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 awesome. I looked at OPUL yesterday. Looked like it was going to pump out the rising wedge. So far, so good. Everything's kind of about breaking out, and now it's kind of have to retest the top of these trends. All right. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Please subscribe to the channel on our way to 99,000 subscribers and counting. It would greatly appreciate if we hit that key level. We're so close, but I can't do it by myself, right? I can't subscribe to my channel. Please, everybody, look, it took me so long, and I did say please, I don't mind. But look, it took me so long. I started in 2019. In 1 year, I had 100 subscribers. Barely, 150. Then I kept going and going and going and going and going and going and going, day in and day out, no days off. This is years of my life. Years of my life dedicated to this. I'll look back and be like, that's what I did with my life. I live streamed to the world. I gave myself to the world, you know. I gave myself away, man. I know you don't realize it, but no matter how much money you make, every single day like this, what I do is it's energy. You're releasing energy. You're talking about your tips, tricks, ideas. You're putting yourself out there every single time. And man, God bless you all for all I got back, because I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for everybody that watches this stream. I'm grateful for the amount of people that are here today. I'm grateful for the 98,671 subscribers. Oh yeah, whatever. So anyway, please subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Help me soar and continue to pump. God bless everybody that follows the channel and continues to come every day. We give a lot of ideas and a lot of setups, and we give a lot away for free. Everyone else is dangling it, making you pay. We don't do that here on the channel, right? I want to be able to make you, get the skills and the education here on the live that can propel you to the upside. Amen. Let's take a look back at the fan funding and see what's happening here on the super chats. Hope all is well, Sam. AAVE Weekly is the place, sir. Cup and handle on the weekly. Thank you. Let's take a look at that. We will flush that liquidity at 116. I don't know. I don't say stuff like that. I have no idea what's going to happen. Thank you for being so consistent. We love you. You're my all-time favorite streamer. I wish I wasn't cheap so I can be in your Discord one day. The Discord pays to be in it, like I believe. I believe that. So I can't say that for a fact, but I mean, not paying the 99, what you're doing is, see what you're doing. Here we are. Let me tell you. So I'm going to explain a story to you, and you're going to realize. So you could do it yourself, or you could pay a service, right? There's no way you're going to look at as many coins as me every night. It's just very rare. It's very rare you're going to be as dedicated, because I have my life really set up to be constantly dedicated. You'll get there eventually, but I still don't know, and my thing is, I'll find so many coins and so many ideas and so many things that you haven't seen. So you're basically losing money, in my humble opinion, by not joining the Discord. Why not try it for 1 month? What if it paid you? What if the first month you did it, you actually made $200 back? God forbid you spent $99 on yourself. You're not spending $99 on me. You're not. And again, this is an interesting statement. I wasn't cheap. You're cheap on yourself. You refuse to invest in yourself. You would go and buy the cheaper tool at the store instead of the nicer tool, and then you'd have to replace it in 2 years instead of buying the longer tool that lasted for 9 years. I'm the nice long tool. I'm the higher quality product that will benefit you over time. You want to go for the lower quality product, that's fine. But I'm just telling you the facts of life. I am the higher quality product that will benefit you over time. I firmly believe that. I stand by myself, exactly what I do. So you're basically cheap on yourself. You're not cheap on me. And when you're saying, I wish I wasn't cheap, you're not cheap. You don't want to invest in yourself. You're cheap on yourself. That's what you're cheap on. Yeah. I love you. And again, you don't have to invest in. I don't want to be rude and put anybody down. It does seem like I'm like a pump. How do you talk to someone like that? I'm talking to myself like that. That's how I talk to myself. So I'm sorry if it hurts. But that's the way I speak to myself. I'm hard on myself. I really am. And I don't give in. And I tell myself if I know something's better for me and I'll invest in myself. At least I would try it for a month. And then I'd say, you know what? That wasn't worth $100, but at least I gave myself the stance to find out if it was or not. AAVE looks beautiful. I do see a pump coming from AAVE, and it was one of the stronger coins. DeFi's hot. And when DeFi's hot, Ethereum gets hot, AAVE gets hot, Pinlink, all this stuff, Chainlink, everything with a pulse will start to pump. I see AAVE booming to $4.14 sooner than later. You say the weekly looks hot too? Everything's in the cup and handle. That was over, though. That was a long time ago, you know. Now that's kind of happened. Now we're ready to kind of see these continuation moves on the smaller time frames. It does look like AAVE could take names and kick butt. Bitcoin back at 118.5. That's the key level that I want to see it hold today. I really don't want to see it lose 118.5. XRP at 362.52. I kind of sold the local top for the day on the stream here. We'll see what goes on after that. Bang, bang, bang. Life is Beautiful. If you know that movie, right? It's a good movie. I don't want to stop. God bless all you beautiful people here on the live. Thank you so much for being awesome. I continue to be grateful every single second of my day because why not, right? Awesome, right? Yeah, I want you should get Glenn to get those stones, or I'll go over there.
Do you want to talk to them?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. All right, it's 11:52. Thank you so much. Oh, we're doing so many projects. You buy a house and you want to bring it up to your standards. I have high standards. There's a lot of things I got to do. That's real. I love the uncut truth. I'll join soon. Hey, it's up to you, man. I don't want to force you to join too. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. Like, but I'm just saying, man, I show up every single day. Who would you want to invest with? Like, the guy that, shows up here and there. Like, I'm going to be here every day, man. I'm not going nowhere. So. And we bought Bitcoin at the lowest places too. 100%. Papa duties, yeah, I know, right? Daddy's always got to do something. You played it yesterday, I think, right, huh? Hey, I don't know. I played every song here. You usually get every song. Yeah, I don't know. So, don't want to force you to join, but I love you so much. We want the best for you. Exactly. It's hard for me, like, not to force my services on someone because I know I can help them. You know what I mean? But I also don't want to sound like a used car salesman begging someone to buy. So it's like, all I can do is show up every day, and those actions, I believe, will speak louder than the words, and no stream is like this stream. 100%, baby. Ain't nothing like this in the whole universe, baby. Ain't nothing like the life of stream. Let's go. Shout out to my lovers of life. Shout out to everybody out here. Let me finish this fan funding. I think we did it. And Don the Dad ended it with a perfect, you're awesome, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you. And AAVE looks beautiful to me. Market looks like it's taking a bit of a lunchtime chill pill. But Bitcoin's still 598 looking strong. I'm long Bitcoin. I'm long everything. And I'll show my wins or my losses. We'll come to it. And there's so many altcoins pumping right now, everybody. Take a deep breath. I'll be back in the trading group for a while. I got some papers coming in and some guys digging up some stuff. I got to kind of make sure it's all put in the right place before I get started. I love you all. Thank you so much for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here for another amazing day. Will Pepe break 1,500 today? Sam's the best. Let's take a look at Pepe real quick. My man just asked about Pepe. Your question is my desire to answer. I see it breaking out. I say yes. I don't know about today, but I see it's going to happen in the next 2-3 days for sure. It's a beautiful flag. Look at this. It's about to do damage, and it's following Ethereum, following Solana. The big coins are pumping. Then people sell those coins. Where's the money go? Into the little coins. When Ethereum pumps, it creates liquidity. It grabs liquidity from the bigger markets, and then that money flows into the smaller altcoins. This is how it works. Bang. Get yourself positioned and poised. 23% gains. I see this going to 17, heck, 15. Spot on, Graymore. PEPE about to do damage to the upside. And this is the day, these are the days where almost every single flag will break out. Every single thing you put out will pump. Like, it's just like, I am like, you know, you're like basically Goldfinger out here. Take advantage of these times. These are the days to be alive. Hyperliquid real quick before I jump on out of here. I haven't looked at it in a while. Slump back down a little bit. All right, so when I look at Hyper, this is what I want to see it making this flag like this. Getting ready for its next big breakout. And then boom, Hyperliquid holding support at 43. Resistance and the next target at 60. I'm going to 100 Hyperliquid. Looks like we can get there. Hyperliquid, baby, to 60. Everybody, I love you. I'm going to jump on out of here for the day. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this amazing live stream. You were amazing. Your performance was unbelievable. The super chats, the comments, the participation was phenomenal. I am so grateful. The rest of my day is going to be great because of this live stream. It all went well. The internet worked good. There was no problems. My team and staff were there for me. The super chats were amazing. Everyone was upbeat. I didn't see anything. I mean, it was great. It was one of the best live streams I've ever had. God bless everybody here on the live. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Got me feeling like Elvis, baby. Everyone, I love you. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the trading group. Keep making the gains and don't stop. XRP to the moon, baby. And we made gains on the live stream. That's how you make about $1,500 in under an hour, baby. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the trading group, and I'll see you throughout the day. Stay blessed. Stay amazing. Stay lifers. I love y'all. Secret to success. You know what it is, right? I know the secret to success. I figured it out. You know what it is? You know. Wait. It's getting started.